flooring has come a long way from shag rugs and vinyl tiles. The choices are aplenty, no matter your application, from kitchens to bedrooms all the way to classrooms and gymnasiums. Whether the space is a dedicated application or multi-purpose, the proper solution exists. Created to help you avoid poor decisions, this is the floordecisions.com podcast.
Greetings and salutations, everyone. Welcome to the first episode of the floordecisions.com podcast. I'm your host, Eric Lucier. I'm the co-founder of a blog, website, presentation outlet called Let's Fix Construction. And Let's Fix Construction was founded about 4 years ago based on the entirety of the construction industry, which is extremely broad. One of the missions of Let's Fix Construction was to break down the misconceptions of the industry, and it was really vast. It dealt with architecture and design. It dealt with actual hammer and nails and installation and all facets of the industry, all the way through commissioning and operation of facilities. And we're not talking about small houses here, but large industrial and commercial design. And construction is a very, very broad subject. I was one of many contributors to the Let's Fix Construction blog, and I always seemed to focus on what I knew about, and that would be flooring. I started in the flooring industry January 23rd, 2006. I accidentally found my way into it, and I always joked when I was presenting in Let's Fix Construction that no matter how hard I tried, I could not get out. It is a little bit of a joke, but actually I did have a slight departure from construction over 2020 when I had a step away from the industry, but I did find my way back in because when January of 2021 hit, I realized that I had now spent 15 years in flooring, and that was 33% of my life. I'm 45, going to be 46 in just a couple of months, and it was really hard to think about departing from an industry that I'd been so wrapped up in for 15 years, 1/3 of my life. I remember growing up and thinking, after being at a job for 2 years or 3 years, wow, I've been at this job for 3 years. That's so long. Well, before you know it, life just is on fast forward seemingly all the time. And when I did realize that 15 years in, I had spent such a huge chunk of my life in the flooring industry, I had a hard time believing I could step away from it very easily, for I knew a lot, I felt, about what I specialized in, and that is indoor athletic surfaces, but also all of the different components that indoor flooring interfaces with: concrete and asphalt a little teeny bit, and substrates, flooring in general, because we're always tying into other areas like that, athletic equipment such as bleachers and basketball hoops and volleyball inserts, and all of the different types of athletic surfaces out there. So 15 years of knowledge. I always enjoyed sharing the information and education that I attained with other folk. So when I was looking for my next project here, kind of the next side hustle, if you will, I thought, well, I might as well talk about flooring, because that is certainly what I do know about, because 15 years, you attain a lot of information if you're doing it right, and that's what I'm going to do here. So you have found floordecisions.com and floordecisions.com podcast. And why Floor Decisions? Well, it's a good play on words of poor decisions. And what I want you to avoid by listening to this podcast, reading the blog, is avoiding poor decisions when it comes to flooring, substrates, trades, contractors used, and make sure that your project, whether it is a living room floor, a kitchen refinishing, or a gymnasium application, or new flooring for your school or office space, you make a proper decision. So Floor Decisions is here to help you attain that. And much like Let's Fix Construction, I don't want it to be about me. It's not just about me. It's about you, the consumer. It is about you, the listener. It is about you, the reader. And It's going to be about other players in the industry as well. I only work with a handful of manufacturers in the industry, and there's a plethora. There's, of course, installers across the world that have much, much more experience than myself. And I actually am not an installer. I've been out there and been on my hands and knees a teeny little bit working with our installers over the years, but overall, I've spent the majority of my 15 years on the sales, marketing, and education with the flooring products that we work with. So I've attained a lot of knowledge over those years, and I want to share a little bit of my knowledge as it pertains to the flooring industry here on floordecisions.com. But as I said, it's also going to be about guests, it's going to be about manufacturers, it's going to be about installers, and it's about sharing that knowledge to help you avoid poor decisions. So I'm actually pretty excited about the direction that this could go. There's not a lot of free information out there on the internet in one place. It's a little bit here, a little bit there. Hey, that's the internet really. But this is about to be one location that you can come to for information top to bottom, or really, as it pertains to flooring, bottom to top. So we'll see where this goes. Just a quick introduction on the floordecisions.com podcast. Again, I'm your host, Eric Lucier, 15 years sports flooring professional, also working with a lot of other different flooring components. So it's certainly not going to be only about sports flooring and the substrates that sports floors go on in gymnasiums and weight rooms and fitness facilities and what have you. So check us out on the web, floordecisions.com, of course, and on the socials, Floor Decisions on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook. You can send an email as well, floordecisions@gmail.com. I'm looking forward to where this is going to go. Thank you very much for tuning in to this very, very, very first episode and introduction. I'm Eric Lucier. It's episode number 1, floordecisions.com.
Thank you for listening to the floordecisions.com podcast. If you have a moment, you can leave a review for us on your podcast player of choice, and if you received value from the show, please feel free to share our website, podcast, or videos to anyone that might find it helpful. Created to help you avoid poor decisions, this is the floordecisions.com podcast.